Hi and welcome to today's computer science lesson. In this lesson we are mainly focusing on looping statements. So the previous lessons we have learned algorithms, how to construct an algorithm, what are the sequence statements, what are the decision making statements, already we covered. Now there are two decision making statements, if, then, else, and if, and case of otherwise. Let's look deep on loop statements here. Now loop statement is also called as repetition statement or iteration statement. Now see the definition. Loop statement is a set of instructions as part of an algorithm to be repeated for a certain condition. It is a collection of statement which is repeated to reach a particular conditions. Now take this as an example. Statement 1, statement 2, statement 3 are the three statements here. This is a condition here. These statements keep on executing until it reach a particular condition. This condition has two values, either a true or a false, based on the loop statement. Now we have three classification of loop statement. First one is while, do, and while. Second one is a for repeat until, and third one is a for to next. Let us see an example of using three loops here, while, do, and while, repeat until, and for to next. The question is to print hello world string to 10 times. Let us see how it looks in a while, do, and while loop. Start, count equal to 0, count is a variable, the initial value of count equal to 0, while count less than 10. If this condition is true, if this condition is true, the following set of statement will be executed. Print hello world, count equal to count plus 1. Now here say an example, the initial value of count equal to 0. So 0 less than 10, 0 less than 10 is a true statement. So this statement will, if it is a true, the statement inside the loop will be executed. So it will print hello world and it will increment the value of count to next. So now the count value is 0, 0 plus 1 is 1. Okay, the current count value is now 1, and while and end. Now let us see how this is in repeat until loop. So before that, this is a simple syntax of a while loop. While, condition, do, set of statement, and end while. So whenever this condition evaluates to true, whenever this condition evaluates to true, this set of statement will be executed. If it is false, that loop will exit. Let us see how it looks in repeat until loop. Start, print hello world, there is no change in the statement, same set of statement is used there also. Count equal to count plus 1, that is the increment factor, count will go to the next value. Repeat statement, that is a loop statement, repeat. So these two statements will be repeated until this certain condition is met. So here the count initial value is also 0, here also we set it as 0. Now say count equal to 0, we are going to repeat this statement hello world. So it will print hello world, count equal to count plus 1, count plus 1, 0 plus 1 is 1 until count equal to 10. So whenever the condition is false, this set of statement will be executed. If it is true, this statement will, the loop will exit. Now here end. So you can now see differentiate both the loops here. In while, do, and while, if the condition is true, the set of statement will be executed, and repeat until, if the condition is false, this set of statements will be executed. So this loop will execute until the condition is true, until the condition is correct. Now you can see the third set of loop statement, that is for to next. Start, this is the syntax, for counter equal to initial value, that is a starting value, to a final value. You are going to print the statement hello world, and next count is also a loop statement, meaning count equal to count plus 1. Here you can find we are not using count equal to count plus 1 in for loop. Instead of that we are using next counter. So, next counter meaning the value of count is incremented by 1 and end. So, this is the basic 3 loop statement. I hope you understood. We have just printed hello world string to 10 times. Let us see the comparison of the 3 loops over here. While do end while, repeat until, and for to next. So, in while do end while, loop exit pre-tested. So, it is an entry control loop. While do end while and for to next are entry control loop, and repeat until is a exit control loop. And loop will exit, it is pre-tested, but repeat until loop exit post tested. Once the statement is executed and the condition is tested. So, in while do end while, loop exit when loop condition evaluates to false, but here it will loop exit when loop condition evaluates to true. If the loop condition is true, then it will exit from the loop. And in for to next statement, loop exit when loop counter exceed the end value. You have seen a loop counter over there, the starting value to the till the end value. So, when it exceeds the end value, it will stop out, it will get out of the loop. Now, loop may be skipped if the condition fails initially itself. At the beginning itself, if the condition fails, it will get out of the loop. Now, here loop must be executed at least once. In repeat until, the loop will execute at least once, and here loop exit after a specific number of iterations or repetitions depending on the beginning value and the increment. Depending on the starting value and an increment, the loop will exit. Let us take another example. Write an algorithm which will input 100 random numbers and print the average of the input numbers. To find the average, we have to find the sum of the numbers first. Let us see how it works in while do end while loop. Start, count equal to 0, the initial value of the variable count is 0, total equal to 0, while count less than 100, now the value of count is 0, 0 less than 100, it is a true statement. If it is true, the set of statement inside the loop will be executed. Now, here input number, you are going to input a number, total equals total plus number. So, the initial value of total is 0, 0 plus number. Now, say an example, you take number as 10. So, count equal to 0, 0 less than 100 is a true statement, input number, number is 10, total equals total plus number. So, total initial value is 0, 0 plus 10. Now, the current value of total is 10. So, this set of statement is called as totaling statement. Now, let us move on to the next statement. Count equal count plus 1. You are going to the next value of count. The starting value of count was 0, 0 plus 1 is 1, now count is 1. And while the question says to find the average of the input numbers, in this code we find the total of the numbers which you input. Now, average we always find at the end of the loop statement. So, average will be calculated total divided by count. So, total has the total value of this number, total sum of the numbers, and which is divided by the count, and will print the average and end. Now, let us see the repeat until statement, how it looks. Start, input number, the same number will same statement will be used here. Total equals total plus number. So, total is 0, 0 plus number will be the whatever value you input will be stored to the variable total, and count equal to count plus 1. There is no change in this statement here. Only the loop will change here, repeat. This is a loop statement until it reach a particular condition. Now, here whenever this condition evaluates to false, this set of statement will be executed. Now, in this case, whenever the condition evaluates to true, this statements will be executed. Now, average will be find total divided by count, print average, count initial value is 0, total equal to 0. Now, take an example that number is 10, count equal to 0, total equal to 0, you input 10, total equals total plus number, so 0 plus 10 is 10, count equal to count plus 1. Now, before the count value is 0, 0 plus 1 is 1. Now, here you check the condition until count equal to 100. Now, count is 1, 1 equal to 100 is a false statement. If the condition is false, the loop will again repeat until the statement is true. Then you find the average and print the average. Now, let us see how it works in for to next statement. Start, total initial value is 0, total is a variable, initial value is 0. For count equal to 1 to 100, 1 is a starting value and it goes to 100. Input number, there is no change in this statement, same statement is used here also. Total equal to total plus number, the total initial value is 0 here given, and next count. So, next count meaning count equals to count plus 1. So, in for to next statement we do not use count equal to count plus 1. Instead of this one we use next counter. Now, average will be find here total divided by count minus 1. So, this statement you can use average is equal to total divided by 100 also. So, why count minus 1 is when you do the dry run of this code, the final value of count is 101, 101. So, when it comes to this statement, average is equal to total divided by 101 minus 1, that is 100, or else you can directly give average is equal to total divided by 100. Print the average and end. Let us take another example. Write an algorithm which will input English marks of 300 student, print a comment pass or fail. And how can you evaluate the student pass or fail? If the student is above 50 and above, the student is pass, and other case the student is failed. Let us see how it works in while, do and while. Start. So, in this case you can see here you are going to input 300 marks of a student and you are going to check the conditions also. So, for any one of the loop statement you can use, and you can use a decision making statement also, because you are going to make a decision either pass or fail. So, you can use any one of the decision making statement. Start, count equal to 0, mark is also a variable which is initial value 0. While count less than 300, when this condition evaluates to true, the set of statement will be executed. So, input mark. Now, whatever mark you input greater than or equal to 50, if this is true, we call it as if the student is pass. Take an example that mark is 60. So, count is 0, 0 less than 300. So, it is a true condition. Input mark, you mark is 60, 60 greater than or equal to 50, 60 is bigger than 50, it is a true condition. Now, the print pass, this will be print, this will be output. If this is a false condition, say mark is 40, 40 greater than or equal to 50, it is a false condition. So, it will work the else part, print fail, end if. And you want to go to the next value of count. So, count will increment, count equal to count plus 1 and end while and end. So, this is how this same code will work using while, do and while statement. Now, let us move on to how it works in repeat until. As I said, only this particular code, there is no change in this particular code, the same as it is given there. Let us see, repeat until, start, input mark, the same statement. If marks greater than or equal to 50, then print pass, else print fail, and if. This statement is same in while, do and while and repeat until, only the loop conditions is different. Now, here we are using repeat until a condition is met. Here count is equal to 300. When this condition is false, this set of statement will be executed. When this is true, when this condition is true, this statement will be executed. Now let us see how it looks in for to next statement. For to next, start, mark equal to 0, initial value of mark is 0, it is a variable. For count, start from 1 to 300, input mark, the same statement here. If marks greater than or equal to 50, then it print as a pass statement, else it is a fail, and end if. There is no difference between this and these three codes here, but we do not use count equal to count plus 1 in for loop. Instead of that, we have a statement next count, meaning count equal to count plus 1, and let us take another example. Write an algorithm which will input 300 random numbers, print the average of positive and negative numbers. You know how to find a number is a positive number, a negative number. If the number is greater than 0, the number is called as a positive number. If it is less than 0, we call it as a negative number. Now let us see how it is in while do and while. Start. Now I have used certain variables here. Count, it is used to do the counter in the loop. Post total is the total of the positive numbers. Net total is the total of the negative numbers, and post and the counting of how many numbers are positive and how many numbers are negative. While count less than 300, count initial value is 0, 0 less than 300 is a true statement. If it is a true statement, input num, you are going to input a number. If num greater than 0, see you input 10, 10 greater than 0, it is a true condition. If it is a true condition, post total will increment, meaning post total equal to post total plus number. Number is you input 10, consider an example, you input 10. So 10 is greater than 0, it is a true. So post total will be 0 plus 10. Now 10 plus 0 is 10. And once you once this loop, this particular decision statement work, it will increment the post value to 1, meaning the value which you input is a positive value. So post equal to post plus 1. Before initially the post value is 0, so 0 plus 1 is 1. If it is not, if you input a negative number, it will go to this part, else if num equal to 0, num less than 0, net total will be working, net total equal to net total plus num, and net equal to net plus 1, and if. So take an example of minus 5. So minus 5 is a number which you input, minus 5 greater than 0, no, so it is a false condition, so this part will not work. Minus 5 less than 0, it is a true condition, so next part will work, 0 plus minus 5, and it will increment by 1. So whenever you input a positive value, post count will increment by 1 each time. Whenever input a negative value, net count will increment by 1 each time, and the summation of also calculated. And you want to count equal to count plus 1 for the next value, and while. Now in this statement we are going to find the average. So post count, post total and net total has the summation of all the positive numbers here and all the negative numbers here. So post average, so how to find the average? Average is total divided by the number of elements. So here post average means the number of average, positive average is given, that post total divided by post. Same way neg average is found by net total divided by neg. It is a good practice to give meaningful names for the variables, so the users can understand very fast. That's why I have given as post total, neck total, count, post, neck. Let's see the same set of, now you are printing post average and neck average, and let's see how it is in repeat until loop. So here again, whenever this condition is evaluates to true, if the statement is true, this set of particular set of statement will be executed until the condition is false. Now repeat until, start, input num, same set, there is no change here. If num greater than 0, then post total equal to post total plus number, same set of statement, there is no change, post equal to post plus 1, else if num less than 0, then neck total equal to neck total plus num, neck equal to neck plus 1, and if, and only the change is in the loop. Here you can give a repeat, that is a loop statement, and post average is equal to post total divide, here until condition has given here, condition is count equal to 300. Let us see, count is 0 first, 0 equal to 300 is a false condition. So since it is a false condition, the loop will again repeat until the condition is true. Now it is also a good practice to initialize all the variables at the end of the algorithm. So you can easily understand what are the variables you have used in the algorithm. So finally you can just declare or initialize all the values once the algorithm is complete. Now see the how to it converted to for to next statement. For to next, start, pose is equal to 0 and neg equal to 0, post total also 0, neck total also 0. For count equal to 1 to 300, the variable initial value of the count is 1 to 300, input num. If num greater than 0, then it is a positive number, we know that. Same time it is finding the total of the positive number, and pose is equal to post plus 1. If it is a negative number, neck total is equal to neck total plus num, and neg equal to neck plus 1, and if. And here you can see the main difference in this 3 statement is both the loop statement, while, when, while and repeat until statement, we have used count equal to count plus 1. But here we are not using the statement because we have the loop variable next count, meaning count equal to count plus 1. Now pose average, pose is equal to post total divided by pose, neg average is equal to next total divided by neg, print pose average, neg average, and end. I hope you understood today's lesson. In this lesson we have differentiate 3 set of loop statement, while, do and while, repeat until, for to next. While, do and while and for to next is the entry control loop, repeat until is a exit control loop. So we will be continuing the sessions with more examples. Wash your hands, stay safe.